Moises Caicedo is one of the best midfielders in the world, not just the Premier League.
Yeah, he's the best midfield player in the league at this moment in time.
Opening up for a shot for Moisés Caicedo!
Game after game, he holds the midfield together, running full speed for 90 minutes like he has iron lungs.
And he's sort of gone, oh, right, this is my domain. I'm going to look after this. This is what I normally do. He's been brilliant. He's been absolutely brilliant on the ball and off the ball.
But the crazy thing is, he's no longer just about defending.
That's a great pass, and they have got a fourth! Caicedo this time!
Oh, how about that on the volley for 1-1, Moisés Caicedo!
Caicedo is starting to chip in with goals and assists too. Bro downloaded the goals and assists DLC package.
And I think Mo is showing how good is.
Showing he's not only a destroyer, but also a creator when Chelsea push forward.
He's getting to the ball, he's taking the ball off people, his work around the pitch. He's 2-in-1, he's everything.
He's a machine, always in the right spot, shutting down attacks before they even get going. He makes life a living hell for opposition midfielders. Just look at what he did to the supposed third best player in the world, Vitinha, at the Club World Cup. Fans at Stamford Bridge already see him as the heartbeat of their team. And while his defensive numbers have always been off the charts,
out of the entirety of those Premier League players, when it comes to tackling, Moises Caicedo is equal first.
What's even more exciting is how comfortable he looks on the ball. He's pinging passes, scoring 50-yard screamers.
From inside his own half! Oh, Moisés Caicedo! I can't believe it!
It's very obvious that Caicedo is no longer just a tackle merchant. He is the complete package as a midfielder. For Chelsea supporters, it's pure joy watching him every week. And yet, as amazing as his rise has been, it becomes even more powerful when you remember where it all started. Caicedo was born in a run-down corner of Santo Domingo, Ecuador's fourth largest city by population. He enjoyed living with his family, but it didn't come without hardship. His father owned a rickshaw. His mother sometimes washed clothes for a little extra cash. Caicedo was the youngest of 10 siblings.
I like to have my big family, 10 siblings, and the youngest.
I guess Caicedo's dad was trying to make his own starting 11. He began his football journey on the dusty scrubland pitches of his hometown, where goals were marked out by piles of stones. His older brothers, they didn't take any prisoners. I learned how to play hard from them, Caicedo said in an interview in 2018. It's definitely from his brothers that Caicedo learned just how to properly 2-foot tackle someone. One morning, when Caicedo was busy smacking a ball against the wall next to his house, he caught the eyes of a local football coach called Ivan Guerra. There was just something about the way he was striking the ball, using both feet, that stood out to me, Guerra later said. He asked Caicedo to join his team, and from that moment on, played a pivotal role in Caicedo's journey. He bought him football boots, paid for his bus fares, and helped out his family when they couldn't afford food. Caicedo himself stated on a radio interview that Guerra was the only one who believed in him. The Ecuadorian played up front initially, but soon found his place in midfield. He was playing so well that there was buzz around his name now. By the age of 13, he was playing for the regional select 11, and even joined the youth ranks at Espoli, a professional team that was linked to a police academy in Quito. However, with Espoli being relegated, Caicedo was left without a path to professional football. But luckily for Caicedo, High Pedida, the club Caicedo played for at the age of 13, had a director by the name of Darwin Castillo. He sent Caicedo to a trial with the professional club called Mushik Runa, but unfortunately, Caicedo couldn't afford food or boarding, so the trial only lasted a week and it wasn't successful. It seemed like his dream of becoming a professional footballer was ending before it even had begun. Luckily for Caicedo though, one of his brothers brought him to Ecuadorian Serie A side Independiente for trials, which he successfully passed. But unfortunately for Caicedo, another obstacle was waiting for him. He suffered a ruptured ligament in his knee in 2017, keeping him off the pitch for 10 months. He required a number of surgeries. According to The Athletic, Caicedo would just start crying out of frustration in his room. He was sad, but he continued believing. He was actually quite fortunate in the sense that Independiente had some of the top facilities in the nation. The academy was actually the envy of most South American clubs. When Caicedo returned, he was assigned a personalized training regimen and nutrition plan designed to get him back to his best. And he did get back to his best. The under-18 coach at the time said that Caicedo's athleticism set him apart from everybody else. His endurance, strength, speed, and agility, it put him on another level compared to his peers. After a wonderful display in an invitational youth tournament in Spain, Caicedo was moved up to the first team, where he would make his debut at 17. Despite his age, he was already the best player in the squad, according to his coach, Ramirez.
Stepped into the first team of his club, breeze. Stepped into international football with Ecuador, breeze. You know, he's up against Argentina, Uruguay, Colombia. He makes it look easy.
Let me tell you guys just how important Caicedo was. According to The Athletic, at the start of 2020, Caicedo flew from the Under-20 Copa Libertadores in Paraguay just to play a league game against the local rivals LDU. Independiente won 3-2. Then right after, Caicedo hopped on a plane back to Paraguay to help the Under-20s become champions of South America. Fun fact, in the final, he played against River Plate. And guess who was playing on that River Plate team? His current teammate, Enzo Fernandez. At the time, Caicedo was mainly deployed as a defensive midfielder, but later on he was pushed up higher to be a box-to-box midfielder. This way, they were able to get the most out of his work rate and defensive duties, but also utilize his ability to score goals and make the right pass in the attacking third. Perfect example was his performance in Independiente's 5-0 thrashing of Flamengo. This performance made a lot of noise for him in South America. By the end of 2020, Caicedo was the best player in his country. His performances in the Libertadores made him one of the most talked about South American talents. And that's when Brian came along. In typical Brian fashion, he played a few games and was loaned out to Belgium. They get a lot of young talented players and then immediately send them out on loan to get more development. They did the same thing with Matoma. Initially though, Caicedo struggled. His confidence took a dip from being sent out on loan, and he was struggling to adapt to the physical conditions of a new league. According to his manager at Beerschot, the club he was playing at in Belgium, Caicedo was off the pace. Through patience and hard work though, he began to adjust to the intensity of European football. His fitness began to improve. He began to impose himself on games. His confidence was back, and Brian could see it as they recalled him early in January of 2022. In his Premier League debut, he got an assist as Brian defeated Arsenal. Then he scored his first goal for the club in May, opening the score in what would end up being a dominant 4-0 win over Manchester United. He continued to get even better in the following season. Despite some controversy, he won both the Player of the Season and the Player's Player. I say controversy because in January of 2023, he released a statement announcing that he wanted to leave Brighton after Arsenal had shown interest. Brighton rejected the request and then refused to sell the Ecuadorian mid-season. Pretty weird situation for Caicedo. I mean, the guy publicly writes a letter saying that he wants to leave the club, and then a transfer doesn't happen, so he just sat there playing with his balls. It made the situation at the club awkward, but De Zerbi asked the fans to not criticize the player.
I want they support him, and I don't want they can criticize him.
He actually ended up signing a new long-term contract, but everybody knew that this guy was going to leave. The question was just which club was he going to join. While Arsenal failed to get him, Liverpool tried to get him, but it was Chelsea that got the last laugh.
Mike, it is finally done. A British record transfer that takes Moises Caicedo from Brighton to Chelsea for £115 million.
Caicedo made 100 tackles for Brighton last season and made 56 interceptions too, ranking him second in both categories compared to the rest of the Premier League. Hugely impactful in the middle of the pitch, completing nearly 2,000 passes as well.
The drama started from the get-go when the Ecuadorian snubbed Liverpool to go to Chelsea.
He's a player that would have improved Liverpool, so the fact that we bid the money and, you know, they agreed the fees and he didn't want to come, I think that's disappointing, it really is.
Everyone thought he was going to go to Liverpool, but last minute, he changed his mind.
Moises Caicedo has rejected the chance to join Liverpool.
Given the price that was paid for him, there were doubts. Caicedo was still a player just proving himself. He hadn't been playing in Europe's top flight for that long, and this was proven by his horrific debut against West Ham. Given the money that was spent for him, and Chelsea struggling as a team, everyone went into panic mode, thinking that Brighton had pulled out another scam. But season by season, Caicedo's been getting better and better.
I think you can see his role now in the team. I think it fits him really well. I think he probably had to go through a period of where people are questioning the fee that people paid. So he's had to handle that very well, and I think he's done that really well.
He is getting a lot of praise now under Maresca because the team is winning, but he was actually pretty good under Pochettino as well, especially towards the back end of the 2024 season. I mean, the guy did score from the halfway line.
Oh, Moises Caicedo! I can't believe it! What a way to score your first Chelsea goal!
But there is no denying that under Maresca, he has hit another level. He's become irreplaceable, hence why he was named Chelsea's Player of the Season, and why he started every Premier League game. The amount of defensive work this man does is exceptional. Look at where he ranks in tackles, tackle win rate, ball recoveries, and interceptions. Now look at his heat map. He roams around the middle of the park, waiting to destroy midfielders. He stops counterattacks before they've even begun. Imagine receiving the ball in the middle of the park as a midfielder, and all you see is Caicedo's bald head running at you. His aggression and tenacity is desperately needed because this Chelsea team, they're young, they're technical, but at times they need a player that just gives them that edge. You need a player who has a bit of bite in his game, and boy does Caicedo have it. I actually think he's too good at crunching tackles, because even when he wins the ball, they call it a foul. The man is so versatile that Maresca even played him as a right back for some games. There is no other player in the squad even remotely capable of doing what Caicedo does as consistently well as he does it. It's his presence that allows Enzo and Palmer to push forward, and no matter where he's played, whether it's as a 6 or as a right back, he's just always there, cleaning up danger, starting attacks, and just making life easier for everyone around him. But he's so much more than just a defensive beast. He's great going forward. His spectacular goal against United, as well as his assist to Jackson, are moments that remind you this guy isn't just some aggressive shin kicker. He's the complete package as a midfielder. One of the things that's really helped Caicedo is that Maresca's system doesn't leave him isolated. At times under Poch, Caicedo was just standing alone in the middle of the park, like me when I get stood up on a date. He had to cover everything in the midfield all by himself. But the way Maresca's system works is that there's always someone next to Caicedo in the build-up. When Chelsea build out from the back, they're in this 3-2-4-1 shape. In this system, there's always someone next to Caicedo. Sometimes it's the fullback, sometimes it's a midfielder. This opens up extra passing lanes, meaning that when Caicedo does get the ball, he isn't just isolated in no man's land. Let's look at his assist to Jackson against West Ham. In this game, it was Cucurella who had inverted in. That's the player next to Caicedo. The focus is on him, so Caicedo goes in between the lines, finds the space between Rodriguez and Paqueta, then when he gets the ball, he plays a beautiful through ball into Jackson, who did something quite rare. He put the ball in the net. This was no fluke because Caicedo did the same thing against Liverpool. Once again, Chelsea are in this box midfield that Maresca likes to use. It's Lavia next to Caicedo. This time Gusto and Palmer are the ones ahead. Gusto drops to offer himself as a passing option, and the movement from him and Palmer helps stretch Liverpool's midfield to create space in the middle of the park. As Tosin plays the ball to Gusto, Caicedo begins to move forward. And because of the positioning of Palmer and Gusto stretching Jones and Gravenberch, and with Lavia occupying the center of the park, Gusto is able to find Caicedo between the lines. Caicedo then picks out Jackson's run behind the defense, and boom, goal. A lot of the stuff that he does goes under the radar for the casual fans. But for those around the club, they know just how important he is. He covers ground quickly like Conte.
A lot of players in the midfield, like Makelele or N'Golo Kante, they were my inspiration for me to support Chelsea.
But there's also flashes of Essien in him. Essien was also a super versatile and consistent performer for the Blues under Mourinho, and just like Caicedo, he would bang in a goal here and there. He was named Chelsea's Player of the Season in 2007, the same way Caicedo won the award in 2025. Now, I've glazed Caicedo enough, but there are still things he needs to work on. At times he can be too aggressive, too hungry for a tackle. But he's playing at such an elite level that nobody brings up his transfer fee anymore. And that's when you know you've made it, when your fee is never discussed. How many midfielders are banging in a long shot like this against the reigning Premier League champions?
The one who got away as far as Liverpool are concerned, a good couple of years ago now, but I think he keeps coming back to haunt them, was Caicedo, and we have to pay tribute to his performance today, not just the goal.
He was the best player on the pitch by a mile.
How many are scoring a goal like this in a cup final? When Chelsea paid that record fee for him, there was a lot of pressure, but he's proven to be worth every penny.
Yeah, when he first came, it wasn't quite happening for him, was it? He was playing in that 2 in midfield alongside Enzo, and everyone looking at him thinking, well, what is he? But now he's I'm breathing before I say it because I'm trying to think of players like Declan Rice and others in the league, but I think he's the best midfield player in the league at this moment in time.
He's now the rock in midfield. For Ecuadorians, watching Caicedo shine at Stamford Bridge is pure pride. This is the same kid from Santo Domingo who once played barefoot on dirt pitches, and now he's dominating in the biggest league in the world. For Chelsea fans, Caicedo feels like the face of the new era. He gives you everything on the pitch. You can see the passion in the way he celebrates even small wins, like a big interception. The fans have taken him to heart, not just because he's great at football, but because he plays with so much heart and humility. Caicedo himself has not forgotten his roots. He took part in a neighborhood tournament just a few days after the World Cup in 2022. The clip of him scoring a goal in the final went viral. He's even been generous. investing back into the community, and even has his own project there, the Moises Caicedo Football School, where they teach you how to get the ball and take out the man at the same time. All he needed was time and patience, and now Chelsea fans are experiencing his greatness. If you want to get yourself a Caicedo Chelsea jersey, just go to buygamejerseys.com and use code PETTALKS. To see the other South American midfielder who's been shining for the Blues, check out this video right here on Enzo Fernandez.